Hello everyone, welcome to iReview. Today we're going to do the unboxing of Samsung Z Fold 3 phone. Let's get started. So the first thing about the box that's shipped out by Samsung through FedEx is that it doesn't require a signature for you to receive it. So chances are that they're going to just leave it in your porch or near your mailbox. And since it's a high value item, I wish that they had required a signature. Remember that this costs $1,800 for a pre-order before you do any trade-in. So this is the original box that I received it in. So let's open it up. Here's the order slip. I do love the fact that Samsung wraps even the phone itself in this protective wrapper. So normally what I do is if I were to trade in my phones, I put the trading phones back in this wrapper and use the same box to ship it out. So my order includes the Galaxy Watch 4, the earbuds, the Galaxy Buds 2, and also the Fold phone itself, and the Samsung Watch 4 is going to be shipped out separately, so it's going to arrive in a different box. So since this is a foldable phone, you can see that this has the form factor of a small tablet. Let's open it up. I do see some dust right off the bat, and it's understandable because it came out of a factory, probably assembled with all these parts together. Okay, let me remove the dust wrapper. Wow. It feels like holding a solid tablet, a small 7-inch tablet, but it feels good though. It doesn't feel like it's flimsy at all. The body, it feels metallic. It does come with a pre-installed screen protector. I do recommend not to remove it right away until you order a good screen protector to replace it. And I also find that the factory installed screen protectors are always well aligned, and they work pretty well. So I usually wear them out before installing my own screen protector. So we try to fold it. So I noticed that I have to apply a little bit of pressure to be able to fold it. I think that's a good thing because if I want to play music, I can control the angle of the screen, which is good depending upon the light source in the room. I may want to put it at this angle, or maybe move it up a little bit. So that's good. Also, this is waterproof. You can see all of the specs on the screen right now. It comes with the latest Snapdragon processor. You can see the USB-C port. It doesn't come with a 3.5 mm audio in, which has become the standard for the most recent flagship phones. Also, when you close it, you can see that there's a gap here. I believe that it is intentional, probably not to damage the screen when you try to close it with a lot of force like you would normally do right? Like, if you have a wallet that folds, you're not going to fold it slowly, right? You're just going to close it. So probably it's there to protect it. I'm not sure, but it does look a little bit unnatural because it falls weirdly, but I think it's going to grow on me. The standard 3 lens setup on the back. Let's try to boot it up. I do see a screen protector here as well. I'm not going to remove it. I'm going to make some screen protector and case recommendations at the end of this video, and I'm going to do a full review after I use it for a while. Let's start it up. So the power button also serves as a fingerprint reader. I previously owned S10e, and S10e also had a fingerprint scanner on the power button itself. I'm upgrading from S21. The S21 has a fingerprint reader embedded into the screen. I actually don't like that design because I'm more comfortable, like, when you turn on the phone, I'm more comfortable to turning it on by pressing the power button. And if it doubles as a fingerprint reader, then it's very convenient because I can press to power it on and then, just swipe to turn on this, to log into the Android. Okay, so I'm going to continue with the setup. I'm going to pause for a minute. Okay, so I'm trying to put in my Wi-Fi password to set up the device, and you can see the keyboard layout is slightly different from a regular phone, a small form factor phone. So this is actually not bad, like, because it's hard to reach the center of the screen. So it's convenient, but it's going to get some getting used to. I learned how to type, but this is, like, broken, so it will take a while for me to adjust to the width of each of these keys and also account for the gap that comes in between. So once you put in the Wi-Fi information, it's going to look for any updates, and there are a couple of options to transfer your data to your new device. You can use Samsung Smart Switch, which I've found to be very effective. I've seen it also copy the data, not just the apps, APKs. It also copied data for some of the apps. So that's pretty nice. I traditionally rely on the Google backup and restore. That I've noticed that it doesn't copy over the data. So I'm going to use Smart Switch to transfer data onto this device. Here's the screen for copying the data. So I'm going to use my S21 to copy over the data. And you can see that it's trying to update Smart Switch before it can transfer the data. So now I can copy the data from a Galaxy device or from an iPhone. I'm going to do the transfer wirelessly. And now I'm going to turn on Smart Switch on my other device, on my S21. I need to install it. I already have it installed, so I'm just going to fire that. Okay, you have to make sure that both of your devices, the device from which you're trying to copy the data and this new device, are on the same Wi-Fi network. And also you'll have the opportunity to select what you would like to copy, including files, images, settings, apps. So I normally use Google Photos for photos and videos, so I ignored that and I'm copying everything else, including the accounts, the Google accounts. It will ask you to put in your password for your Google accounts again, and once that's confirmed, it's going to do the copy. So I'm going to fold this phone and I'm going to press the power button, and you can see that the screen has transferred over to this side of the phone, which is pretty good. I do find that the screen is very narrow, so it's going to get some getting used to, because normally phones are a little bit wider than this. Also from the factory, it came with about like 70% of charging, which is good, but I'm going to plug it in and charge it the rest of the way anyway. So you can see the volume rocker keys here, and there's a, let me see if I can find the SIM tray. Okay, this SIM tray is right over here. So I'm going to install the SIM card. And also, while data is being transferred, let's look at what else comes with the box. So there's a USB-C cable, a quick start guide, and since I pre-ordered, I get 1 year of Samsung Care Plan. It also comes with the SIM tray tool. That's it, folks. So I remember, like, until S10, you would get earbuds and a charging adapter included in the box, but since they're trying to sell that separately, it doesn't come with any of those things. So even I find it surprising that even the charger is not included, but that's fine, because in the spirit of recycling and not creating any additional electronic waste, I'm going to reuse the charger from S21. So I'm going to put this box aside and continue with the data transfer. Okay, so I'm going to wait for this to be completed, and then I'm going to check back with you in a few minutes. Okay, the data is being copied over in the background. At least the accounts have been copied over at this point of time, and it's asking me to set up the fingerprints. So I'm going to do that. But before you do that, it will ask you to set up a PIN or a pattern on the phone. I just took care of that, and I'm going to see if I can add my fingerprint. It's asking me to open the phone. I'm going to do that. And then it's asking me to scan the fingerprint. I noticed that it doesn't error out a lot. On my previous devices, I remember, like, it would always complain that I need to put my entire finger on the scanner. So I didn't have that problem here. And also another thing is that I won't be able to add my left fingerprint. So I don't know if you are a left-handed person. I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm right-handed, so this is fine for me. But I think it would have been nice to add another fingerprint scanner on the left-hand side so that I can unlock it with my left hand, but that might be asking too much. Okay, it's getting the phone ready. Now I'm about to finish it, but I'm going to click on Explore Your New Device. There are about 19 steps here. We already talked about this. Like, the screen goes to the front of the device when you fold it. So with the expanded area that you get when you unfold the phone, I think that's going to help us, especially like when you're watching videos or when you're chatting. You can chat with someone while your left sidebar with your friend list is still open. I'm sure that you can watch YouTube videos while browsing through the rest of the screen like you would on a tablet. Also multi-view, so I do use that heavily. Like, sometimes when you have to copy data over from one app to another, I put them side by side. So I think multi-view screen is going to be wonderful with the screen size. I'm going to include that in the review. And we talked about this. You can change your view, and this is wonderful because as you can see that you're playing video on one side of the screen, and you are watching, you have the controls on the bottom, which is amazing. And here, when you're taking pictures, you can pretty much control or view the gallery at the bottom, and you have controls at the bottom. So that's also neat. Previewing pictures on the cover screen. taking advantage of the flex mode, which we already discussed, and also the edge view. I use a different launcher. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. With that launcher, I find it very convenient to open apps compared to the stock launcher. More about the split screen, taking screenshots, and also some experimental features specific to this device. You can also use your S Pen, but it's not included. You have to order that separately. Okay. So also, you can see that there is like a very subtle line that goes around, but it's not nowhere near bothersome. Like it doesn't bother me at all. When I open the screen, it still feels continuous, even though there's that side effect of having a foldable screen. Also, with technology, remember that it improves iteratively. So I'm sure like in the next few generations of Fold 3, they're going to improve the gap when you fold it. They're going to make it as seamless as possible when you open or close the device, like the snapping action. And also that line that you see in the middle, I'm sure that's going to disappear as technology improves. I'm actually going to check the weight of this device. So I don't know if you can see it, but it's about 9.8 ounces or about 276 grams. That's not bad at all. It does feel solid, like I said. If I have to use this phone with a single hand, I think it's going to trigger my carpal tunnel. So I have to use both of my hands when handling the device. Okay, I'm going to open the phone again. And you can see that I added my thumb for the fingerprint scanner. I haven't added my index finger, so I'm going to have to do that as well. I'm going to do a quick speed test. So about 50 Mbps. I have a 300 Mbps connection, and you can see the results of my wired desktop machine, which clocks at 320 Mbps. And then you can see the comparative result from my S21, which is slightly lower than this speed. So it's pretty fast. So out of 300 Mbps, there's going to be a lot of loss when you use the internet wirelessly. So this is acceptable, and I'm actually standing like 10 feet away from the router. Okay, so you can see the front camera right over here. Let's open the camera app. So I have my rear camera pointed at an object. I'm going to rotate the screen now, and I'm going to start folding it. Okay, as soon as I fold the screen, you can see that the controls move to the bottom of the screen, which is pretty neat. So I'm going to take a picture, and you can see that a preview option is available right over here, and I can delete it. That's pretty nice, because on my other regular non-foldable phone, you have to go to the gallery and then come back to this menu. So this is pretty neat, and you can toggle between the photos. So let's explore some apps and see how this dual window helps. So I'm going to open YouTube. I'm going to rotate the screen, and you can see the video just transferred to the top part of the screen. And I can play the video in full screen and I can access the comment section, and I can interact with the comments while the video is playing full screen. That's pretty cool. So as soon as you leave the video screen, you can go to the home page of YouTube, and also you have a picture-in-picture view of the video that you were watching. Because of the extra screen real estate, it just feels more comfortable to watch videos. So I tried folding the screen this way, like this, because I'm still trying to get used to the phone. So let's open up Notes, and you can see that even when you try to fold the screen a little bit, the screen still flows naturally. That's pretty neat. Now let's go to the settings. Again, because of the dual screen, you can see that whenever you click on connections, you can see all of the options right on the side. On my S21 and on non-foldable phones, you kind of have to click and go into that menu, and then you have to go back by pressing the back button. But this is pretty neat. You can access all of the settings within each of these main menu items directly on the right hand side. Now let's fire up Netflix.
No one can explain what happened to us on April 7th, 2013. Some people called it impossible. Others called it a miracle. All I know is it was the day my life changed.
So here I don't see the controls being pushed to the bottom, which is fine because on Netflix there's no need to add any comments. So this is perfectly fine by me.
Still in love after 15 years.
The screen looks excellent. Feels like holding a small 7-inch tablet, even though it's slightly smaller than that.
Still in perfect health. Still trying to run my life. It's not just about you.
As noted, it doesn't come with a 3.5mm jack. It does have stereo speakers, one on the back here, and then there's another one here on the front, which is nice because when you hold the phone this way, and if the speaker is only at the bottom, then you can hear muffled noises, right? So now that the speaker is on both sides, even if you block one of those speakers, you can still hear from the other side. But of course, you're not going to get a stereo sound if you do that. The body itself is an armor aluminum frame. It's super strong, but also very lightweight. One of the best features of this phone, of course, on top of the foldable display, is the ability to multitask because of the screen size. So Samsung says that this screen is more scratch resistant and less breakable compared to the previous iterations of this phone, the Galaxy Z Fold and Galaxy Z Fold 2. Now let's talk about screen protectors and phone cases. So I'm not going to take the screen protector that comes installed until I wear it off. Here's a good case that I recommend. It can be tricky to design a case for a fold phone because of its unique form factor and the ability to fold the phone, but this case provides extra safety for the front screen because of the extra width of this case that you can see on the screen. And for screen protectors, here is a 3-piece screen protector set. So this allows you to add a screen protector to this side of the screen and also add a bigger screen protector. I had my concerns regarding the ability of the screen protector to stay durable as you keep folding and unfolding the phone. So I'm going to keep you guys posted on how that's going to work out. My overall first impressions. Coming from a non-foldable phone, I really like the folding display. It's going to really help with multitasking. It's waterproof. Also, there are various accessories available to protect it. One of the biggest concerns I have with flagship phones, especially with this form factor, is like, what happens if I'm going to put this in my pocket along with my keys, right? Like, they can scratch the screen. But with a good screen protector and a case, you can only damage the screen protector and spare the phone. So that gives me a little bit of comfort. It's a little bit heavier because of the big screen, but I think I'm going to take advantage of the extra screen size and have that offset the concern with the weight of the phone. So overall, I really like the phone and I'm looking forward to using this as a daily driver for the next few weeks and do a full review and a full benchmark test. So I hope you enjoyed this video. So please thumbs up and subscribe. And if you like me to do reviews of any other gadgets, please mention them in the comment section. If you don't like this video, please feel free to thumbs down and let me know what I can do to improve. Thank you so much for watching, and I will look forward to joining with you again for a full review. Take care.